And a steal by Simons, who's an incredible athlete. Might see it on display here. What will his minutes be like this year as Simons shows off that athletic. Foul by De'Aaron.
Alley-oop. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was setting that up.
Watch him shoot around before the game. It's just a tad bit more smooth.
Well, he had 8 points and 6 rebounds. And there again.
And you can book this. That pick and roll is going to be prolific because pretty soon they're going to come up on him as we see Simons again. Nothing.
Simons has had the hot hand.
Might want to get to him.
This team really moves the ball, Doug.
Yeah, they do, and you got to close the airspace. You can't.
Dubrovnik, Croatia. Mario Hezonja over to the second-year player, Anfernee Simons.
It comes right. Aldridge could take the hard rebound. Simmons coast to coast. Nice left-hand shot. Contested that one, and McCollum ends up with it, and a lead-out pass, and Simons gets loose for the layup. Whiteside. Really taken away, but there's Simons again. All at 3:59 in the second. From then to the end of the third, the Spurs outscored them 44-22.
His confidence dropped, even if he misses a few. He just continues to let it fly.
Simons counters with the bucket.
Junior in the game. Under with the last 4 now to cut it to 5 as Simons quickly comes back for the Blazers.
And you want to stay in rhythm any way you can, even if it's in transition like that.
Simons goes right at
tempo, push the pace, and play before the opposing defense gets set. Dennis has been spectacular at that here over the last few games.
Swatted away.
The lift.
Bouncing off to Simons for 3. One dribble setup. Bingo.
Wish that it was like this in your days, this open court style of basketball.
Well, it's that line, that round line that did it.
Yeah.
These little guys can jump to them.
Yeah, they can. How about Anfernee Simons? What do you think of his hops?
He's a good player. He could shoot, too.
There he is shooting. Clock 8 seconds. They bring 2 at him. He'll avoid Simmons. Drives into the lane. Pitches to Simons for 3. Got
the Donovan Mitchell there weren't. I think Donovan Mitchell was right. His best friend. Anticipate you coming up to get a handoff. Fake like you're coming up. Go back door. Speaking of back door, Simons working on the. See the body. You think is it quickness? No. He can use the bulk. He can use the finesse. Now Simons in. He's back to the basket. He's got some ISO game. This is where the Warriors are not good enough to have those type of mistakes. The Golden State Warriors are going to get a super fun, improbable first win.
Fourth quarter gets underway. 5 on the shot clock. This is Simons able to knock it down. Downtown. Nice move by Simons and goes glass.
Players and get an easy one for yourself.
The Portland lead is now 2. Three-pointer. Downtown. Simons with a deep 3. Yes.
Hit him in the head. That's Lillard has been absolutely everywhere on the defensive end. To me, he doesn't get enough credit on his defense, but we know he can do that, pass it out and get an assist.
Anfernee Simons steps in now. They go to that 3-guard and backdoor. Here he comes. And who he is a man. LeVert. This is the runner. Into the lane comes Simons with Lillard, Trent, and Scalabrine. Simons step back, long cast. Got it. Wow, long gunning. Anfernee.
The Blazers go to him a little bit. He's got a good enough handle to put pressure on Taurean Prince. Or just give it to Anfernee, I guess, since he's
8-0 campaign for the Nets to take a 5-point lead.
Nice.
Lob inside. Simons will grab it. Present. They've been closing out, making it tough. Making him change direction. Simons splits a pair of defenders, and he gets it. Now a third helping. Simons to step back after the ball handling, and not badly. We'll take it.
Trae Young does average 4.5 turnovers a game.
Simons, the runner, into the lane.
Gauge the big. See, is he going to come commit to him or not?
Simons will tonight.
Had only 6 threes made on the season coming into this one. Oh, it says time, Kev. He's orchestrating it that way.
25 for Young. Simons again from 3. Got it. Coming off that screen. Simons working right up the middle. Laid it up and in as he's been averaging 11 a game. He stays out on the floor. He comes off the screen, turns the corner into the lane to the glass. Lay it in.
And that's the first basket for Simons.
Got to go quick help on him.
Simons. 98-93.
Shot blocker like Hassan. If you're Gasol, the more you can try to get him out of that paint, the better. Nice pass, nice finish. Float game strong from Anfernee.
2 oncoming.
Look how the Raptors are loading up, Kevin.
Simon squares up and he drills it.
Alon also preparing.
CJ crosses over. Swings to Simons. A 112-101 count. Lillard threading his way into the paint. Kick it outside to Simons. Lifts off for 3. There it is. And how about Fred VanVleet? 30.7 assists for VanVleet. Simons the other way into the lane. Finger rolled it up and in, and that.
74%.
Spurs fall back into a zone.
Simons can shoot it, and he proves it again. This youngster's got a heck of a... Zonia has second thoughts. Simons. The baseline.
Fire right now.
Simons.
Wipe that fool.
Got it. 5-point Houston lead. Rockets are in the bonus. And Simons doing a pretty good job of finding him a pocket to shoot in. He's are 4 of the top players in minutes played in the league in the top 10. There's Simons.
Not been a factor lately, though, but hasn't had a lot of minutes either, so he's on the floor. Simons teeing it up. If he gets space, Ingram's got 8 points on 3 shots. He's 2 of 3 from the field. He's perfect with the free throw line. Simons, give him space. He's going to shoot. You can't give him space. I'd rather sock it. And JJ's up to 7. There's Simons going right. You said it at halftime. He doesn't go left.
8, 7, 6, 5. Get the shot that you want.
Simons, unlimited range.
2.5 remaining in this third quarter. Marv Albert, Chris Webber, Ali LaForce. Simons possession. Anfernee Simons on the drive and able to bank it home.
Labissiere hands off to McCollum. McCollum into the corner. Simons for 3. He's got it.
That Golden State action there.
Labissiere off to Simons. Simons a baseline jumper. That's true. Blazers 81. Cavs looking to get back in the win column. Simons fires. He's feeling it.
Well, he can shoot it too.
Free straight jump. Took a bump. Got knocked down. Here comes Simons to the bucket. Lays it in.
Again, just does so many other things that makes your team win games. He pours one in off of.
Too far out in front of him. Bazemore, another nice defensive play. CJ off the hop to Simons. 2-hand jam on a run. What a pass. On the recovery by Gallinari, and then Bazemore the other way. Bounces ahead to Simons. 1 dribble attack. Lay it up. Get it there. It does.
Allowing Melo to continue playing his game, being a master in the mid-range, get into the rim.
Something about a man's mashed potatoes. You mess with a man's mashed potatoes, it's on.
Hey man, look, give up the mashed potatoes, Kevin. We want you to return back to the. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm just seeing how wild he is.
Yeah, but I'm not seeking him out. Here's Simons, hangs in the air, beautiful jumper. 24 left in the ball game. Simons to the elbow.
That was quick.
McCollum with 11 points. Lillard has 10 to lead the Blazers. Here's Simons. Yes! From downtown. McCollum on the hop to Simons. And banks it home. Play it home. Oh, nice move by Simons. And then to the left hand. 16-3 burst by the Clippers for the big lead. Simons.
from behind.
And that's on Leonard. He's supposed to dunk that. You know that you have to finish that strong. And great job by Bazemore, not letting this time.
Bazemore. He is scanning to Simons. I'd love to see him take that shot. He'll hop into the paint, though, and get a better one to lay it.
Really difficult places to play.
A good defense by McGee on the perimeter. Anfernee Simons on his here unceremoniously dismissed by the Houston Rockets.
This kid,
4 points, 4 assists. Simons, corner three, got it.
I'm telling you, this kid, he can light it up off something that our company does, of which I am more proud. And just so you know, folks, if you donate to the V Foundation.
You know, in garbage time in Utah, Dwight Howard knocked down.
They'll back it out, 5 to shoot. Anfernee hesitates, has enough time on the end line to sink a beauty. Dave open on the swing, and the bounce pass, he'll hand off then to Simons, who counters with it. Simons on the roll, into the lane, lay it up and in, as he just did get in. And Mario Hezonja now handling. Swings to the corner. Simons eyeballs the post, and then will just leap. Simons.
Nice screen.
Mid-range.
Scala's out here working to operate one-on-one.
Out it comes here to Simons. Off the screen for 3. Oh, that's the second one he is sent home. First month of the season last year. They
had to prove himself.
Signed him to a contract. Outside Simons a 3. Got another one.
Oh yeah, he's collecting.
Including tonight against clubs 500 or less on the year. Lillard outside will swing it. Simons fills it.
Like we said, Fieldy's getting closer to getting his offensive game back. A drive inside. Simons, I like. Whiteside on top.
Look at that.
Nice feed by Whiteside inside. Lakers and Bucks next Thursday on TNT. Simons sheds the D, puts up a nice mid-range shot. And
a really good job of putting pressure on their bigs, collapsing, and then finding the open man. It's a simple game for us. When we do,
they need bench production.
That was one of the big struggles Saturday. A nice, strong
for the CJ and Damian. Carmelo's been a great addition. And Kiki, you have a unique perspective being an executive within the league office. I'm wondering, an extremely intriguing defender. You see Ant knock down the mid-range jumper right there.
Simons on the push the other way. Sudden pull up, got it. Oh, the Blazers need it. And Anfernee on the floor for the Blazers. Wandu defending. And Simons knocking down a mid-range over Augustine.
Make it on, because we've seen that some of the bigs that Terry Stotts has elected to double team in years past as Ant knocks down the triple.
On the edge, Simons jabs it right, moves left, between defenders up into the lane, hesitates at the... Simons off the screen, sizes up, favors, and just darted by.
Good hands.
Whiteside picks it up and sends it to Damian. Ahead to Simons, and hammers in the tomahawk on the run.
Elevation.
Began the season 5-12, since 9-5. Simons with a nice drive inside. 6, and he averages 21 a game. He is the second leading scorer in this team. Simons at 3. Yes,
and that was what they're trying to change here with Utah. This has been a different role as
good point. Usually that is the tandem on the floor. Screen Labissiere and Simons from 12.
What a boost off the
stolen McCollum. Simons by Ingles into the rim. What a great play.
Not just by
Simons, Ingles, screen. The drive and a floater from 15 is perfect for Simons.
What a fourth quarter start here.
Turnovers. 5-point game. It was 23. Here's a shot of the play, and it's good.
22-6. Paint point advantage. Simons, nice touch. Just inside.
Done in the paint, the Blazers. It comes from the backcourt, but Ant can get into the paint as well. So they give you a little bit on one end.
Mid-deep, ball strip. I think it was Carmelo that popped it free. Simons the other way, crosses over. Straight arms Caruso and takes it down. Goes to the bench. Dame turns the corner on AD. Reverses a pass to Carmelo. Quick dispatch outside for Simons. Into where there's a little bit of space. Bradley, an excellent defender. Nice look. Lillard finds Simon.
Call for it, but this time Dame says go ahead and take it.
Crosses over, double clutches, lays it home. Suns haven't even got 10 rebounds. Driving into the lane, CJ, ball deflected outside, right to Simons. He reloads and he drills a three.
His own.
Les Schwab doing the right thing matters. Simons outside, another three, lets it fly. That's the same spot.
Got there somehow. Just like 10 blocks isn't an expectation of him, but he can get there.
Simons into the lane. Beautiful play. Scissors his legs as he goes into the air. And he's had the line.
You got to give him some space right here.
Goes at Baines. Sweeping hook up and in.
Yeah, when you see
just smoke, led by 19 at the end of one. Simons off the screen, hesitates.
Oh my goodness.
Goes back.
Lillard kicks it out. Simons, nice move from Simons. They really.
Seconds to go. Here's Simons. Simons puts it in with
posting up James Johnson with 8 seconds. Back out to Simons for 3. Knocks it in. And Simons guarded tightly by Johnson. With 5 seconds, Simons trying to manufacture something. And a bump and
welcome back inside the American Airlines Arena where the Heat on the best home record in the NBA. That's Anfernee Simons, a young kid from Florida. Hensley on TV, not as much, but Dario Reed is joining us for this segment of the third quarter. And a young lady watching, that's a young man, just a third quarter well. This is Simons driving in. Oh, what a jam. He has 12.6 rebounds and 20 well-played minutes in his first game back since November 27th.
We're off the bench, well, 11.
Dragic's 7 threes ties his career high. That's Simons for a triple.
And for time cut, that's what Derek Jones has done so nicely coming off the slot. They go over the top. This time Simons beaten.
Denied by the rim on the slam dunk, and he goes down hard. I think he's going to be okay as he gets up.
Right to the bucket. This was already after the back screen, and then he kicks it.
And the three-point attempt is Raptors lead 78-67.
That's what I'm talking about right
nice
there.
Touch, leaves it short. And the other way, Simon.
Whiteside clearly altered that shot. Blazers off and running. Anfernee Simons with the finish. Simons, a guy that the Trailblazers are thinking.
Great take by Jeff Teague.
He opens the road for Teague so he could drive right through. Simons.
We know how quickly that can change, though.
Simons able to get around Roca.
He works it to 7. Off it comes to Simons. Shaking left, move right, lean in 15-footer up
to Miami.
And that was the second game of the year.
Yes.
Simons tees up mid-range and knocks it down. Intercepted on the inbounds to Carmelo. Throws it out there to CJ. Stretch pass ahead for the slam. It's Simons.
Put in the numbers on there. That's what you're going to get out of it.
Here's Damian into the lane to Simons for 3. Got it. Anfernee Simons.
That's what I was going to say. Look at what they're able to come up with. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, sir.
Simons inside over Capella.
Run that diamond and one defense that they ran against James Harden the other day.
Anfernee Simons
to do.
Whiteside at the mismatch finds Simons. Team in the third, cut it to 4 in the fourth, and multiple open shots down the stretch could not hit.
Nurkic on the bench. He's been out since basically breaking his leg back last March, and there was a drive and a field.
Same squad from a year ago.
Simons, oh my goodness, the alley. So we open up the third quarter. Portland basketball. Simons first shot, that is a 3, and it rattles in.
13 rebounds, folks. 13.
Gallo went up on the block.
At the defensive end. Simons on the wing, shot clock at 3, defended by Russell and maneuvers for the shot. Beauty. Hey, good D by D. Simons and Horde. Boy, they're doubling Anthony every time they get it inside, though. The galloping Trent. In, up, off, up. Simons got it. It's Anfernee on top and 6.5 to go. Up and down. 54. Lee is on Simons. His shot is good. Blazers.
8 Mavericks players now have knocked down a 3 here in this first half.
Simons with a
Kristaps, but more importantly for the playoffs.
with a drive and a floater inside. Simons
out of Columbia, South Carolina, which is not the biggest place in the world. And most importantly, they're getting the opportunity to dream.
Got to come over.
Melo passes out of the double team. It ends up in the hands of Simons. Swishes home.
2 points in a game through 3 quarters. And he had outscored the opposition at
somebody like Ed Davis, who out-rebounds against bigs, going up against a smaller player.
Simons off the screen. Rebound tipped, controlled by Whiteside, his 16th of the night to CJ, or I should say Dame. Up ahead, it's Simons. Your lead, 9:47 to go, 4th quarter. Off the screen, Simons steering, firing.
Simons with a little shaky bakey on the reverse. It goes. And he's an offense.
Come on for the Denver Nuggets.
Simons. Then Simons knocks it in, and Jeremy Grant comes down awkwardly. Season, our home, our team, our fans. And Anfernee scored. Simons. Nice move there.
Simons freezes Mills on the Anthony screen and steps out to get some space. A floater up and in.
Push over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And so it is in the business of the NBA. Simons out threes.
Yes, sir.
Effectively 5 of 9, San Antonio. Simons a mid-range up and in over to Bertle. And the young man, he will give the Blazers a lead, handing it off to Damian Lillard. Now here's Simons, a 15-footer. Oh, Simons is
courteous nature. Anfernee Simons gets Simons wiggling, taking, and hitting. There's that.
Jumps out of the gym is what he does. Anfernee Simons.
7-2.
Step back triple. Wow. I just like the work rate. Simons going to the line, looking for the.
Lillard sets up Simons for 3, put it in with 1.
Grizzlies needed another big. They didn't just go out and get a guy with size. They went out and got a playing vet with size.
Ooh, Anfernee Simons. Offensive rebounds for Portland. Lillard into a crowd on the throw out. Extra pass. Simons for 3. And Anfernee.
Quick pull up.
From the logo. Finds the hot man. Simons.
But a terrific fast pass and lead to Brandon Clark that could have had an and 1.
Simons with a fadeaway, and he's got it stuck on automatic. Corner 3, Simons buries it. Out, look for Simons to be even more aggressive offensively. He's 5 for 5 from 3. On cue.
Simons inside, plenty of contact.
Shooting from the Pelicans. This is off a great ball movement and man movement. They're doing an outstanding job of being unselfish, turning down good.
Bothering him, and well, that gives the Blazers a near full complement on their roster. Simons banks in a 3. Take it. Don't change that.
The guys that you would expect. It wasn't Shaq and it wasn't Kobe.
What? Bring us up to speed on your college coaching now. What's going on?
Green, I will have the advantage on the look.
Boston 6 of 8 out there. Simons steps back off a screen and he drills a 3.
Big answer.
Carmelo steps out to screen. Boston's so good defensively because they just have multiple guys win. They just cycle their offense. Swanigan springs Simons for the jumper. Got it. Good way.
and picked up by Simons, who got the screen, makes a move, and a 17-footer is right down the hatch.
When you're talking offensively, you know, we didn't make a lot, but I thought we had a lot of good looks. We gave up too many easy ones. You know, the end of the quarter was an example of that.
Thanks, Coach, and congrats. He'll be back better than he was before. I'm living proof of that. My injury was worse than his, and I'm still able to come back and play. He said, I know it's a process. It's still a process.
Hit 28 in Indiana 2 nights ago. Ariza doubled. They find the open man in Simons, and he makes a pay. Simon, rebound to Swanigan.
Probably should have given it to John Collins on the blocks he had. The defense on his back.
And run out for Simons from 15.
Handed push shot, it's no good. But an offensive rebound for Ariza. Simons got it for 3. Cross court to Trent. 3-point shot, Simons. That's good. Hazonia with the ball now. Anfernee Simons got the favorable bounce.
That was Brown missing from the corner. Back on the Blazers.
They established some pace on that break.
Keep too much scoring on him, but there's Simon.
Some highlights
down the road.
You know, for people that's got the phones out, taping stuff, and Anfernee gets the end.
And obviously the excellent pass.
Simons able to sneak inside.
Portland's going to give themselves a few minutes here to see how it can go. And that guy right there, he can fly.
They average 12.6 made threes per ball game. Simons, nice play, hustling, stays with.
He's down 3-2 right now. I mean, they talk noise. Oh, smash this.
Simons, hard dribble drive, slanting to the cup for the jam. This earlier tonight clobbered Atlanta, laid them out. And so Memphis is 32 and 32 on the year. Simons coming even close.
He's missing the shots he was making a few days ago.
Close. Simons for 3.
Anfernee, Whiteside, Trent, and McCollum, the 5 on the floor. Anfernee, Simons from downtown.
The ball, you got to get back.
Simons coming in. And
the bubble. Wenyon Gabriel jars it loose. It's a 2-on-1. Upstairs, Simons!
Jalen Adams, this kid from St. Bonaventure's, come on. Ford back up top. So extensive garbage time.
Count it can donate to me tonight, and I will mention them every broadcast as Simons hits.
Skill set of these guys increase all year long, and he makes them better players.
Three-pointer is good, Anfernee. Here's Simons now. Puts one up with 5.
To the best player on the floor, let him draw a double team, cut with integrity, make the layup.
Simons for 3, cashes it in. Anfernee Simons. By the way, I have to apologize. I kind of had his hometown wrong. He's from Orlando. His Edgewater. That has not been the case. Blazers hanging in there and a chance to tie it right here. And Simons delivers.
Did you see the
house and our outstanding TNT crew? And by the way, before we leave the arena tonight, can we just